Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I am your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge.
This video is brought to you by the WWE T-Shirt Club. If you guys want a brand new WWE shirt delivered to your door every single month, just hit the first link in the description and sign up.
Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into this news episode. I just want to apologize that this episode is 1 day late. Why is it 1 day? Just 1 day late. Why did I decide to do that? Well, it wasn't really my choice because I ended up getting quite sick from that second dose, guys. Just be careful if you guys get it. Just wanted to put that out there. I was stuck in the bed for an entire day, which absolutely sucks because I hate just not being able to do anything. It really, really sucks. But anyway, I'm here now. I'm feeling better, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this juicy episode of WWE News and Rumors. So here we go. The first news story of the day. So I guess we'll say this is about Mark Carrano. So if you don't know who Mark Carrano is, basically he was the head of talent relations, and then they brought John Laurinaitis back up as the head of talent relations to be they're both talent relations people. But basically, here's what happened, and I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about here. It's about the Mickie James trash bag, if you will. So basically, the released wrestlers, I guess they left gear at the arena for some reason. In my mind, I was thinking they bring in their gear themselves in the duffel bags, but maybe if they're in the same stadium for a while, they have gear they just leave there. Would make more sense, I guess. Or maybe the process has changed and they don't actually bring it in the duffel bags. Maybe they have a process where WWE has people clean their gear for them, after every match or something. They'll just be like, okay, you wore this, we'll go ahead and clean it for you and it'll be ready for you next week. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But basically, all the released wrestlers had to get their gear back somehow, and WWE decided to ship it to them. But they shipped it in a box, right? But inside of that box, their gear was in something else. It was in a trash bag, in a garbage bag, in a waste bag, whatever you call it from wherever you are. This is perceived as very disrespectful. I guess the powers that be saw it. I saw Triple H and Stephanie McMahon both made a tweet about it and said the person responsible for this has been fired. Now, when I saw this trash bag thing, I'm like, I didn't perceive it as disrespectful from a personal standpoint because I'm like, well, maybe they were trying to be thoughtful and keep your stuff dry, but I guess they could have just put it in a normal, plastic bag instead of having to put it into an actual trash bag. I mean, there's no trash in the bag, but still, I don't know if they were just trying to keep the moisture out of the gear and keep it dry just in case the box got wet or something. Or maybe they were trying to be disrespectful or something. So the line's kind of blurred for me because I'm like, well, maybe they're trying to keep it dry. A weird method. But anyway, the person that everyone's blaming for this is Mark Carrano, and we don't know if he actually did it on purpose to be disrespectful, if he was just trying to be nice and keep their gear dry, and he wasn't really thinking it through correctly. I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff about Mark Carrano. If it wasn't this that he was trying to be disrespectful about, he deserved to be fired for something else. And he's been described by a lot of ex-wrestlers as not a good person at all. So maybe this wasn't such a bad loss for the WWE. But now I guess John Laurinaitis, Mr. People Power, is the head of talent relations once again, and no longer has to share the position with Mark Carrano. Alright, the next news story. The next news story is about Mr. Daniel Bryan. So this one's very confusing and interesting. So Daniel Bryan recently did an interview with someone outside the WWE, and he was basically talking about how his WWE contract is coming up soon. He's trying to work out a new deal, and he's trying to come up with some way to actually wrestle for WWE, but at the same time be allowed to wrestle for other companies. That kind of defeats the whole point of a contract for a company or whatever. Now, this is unheard of pretty much. We've never really seen the possibility. I mean, every once in a while, you'll see a WWE talent show up on something and be like, most of the time it's when a WWE wrestler is just signed and be like, hey, I have a few dates I've promised another company I have to wrestle for them, so I'll sign the contract or whatever, but you have to agree to let me do these dates. And sometimes WWE do that. For example, I remember for example, Christian. Christian, one night he was in WWE, and then the next night he showed up on TNA or something because he had a prior commitment or something before a contract renewal or something crazy like that, some kind of situation like that. I haven't really heard of an open thing where it'd be yeah, you can sign this contract for WWE and you can wrestle wherever else you want. So Daniel Bryan, you can be in WWE and AEW both at the same time. It's what? No, it doesn't work like that. That defeats the whole point. So Daniel Bryan's trying to come up with something, and if he is actually able to pull this off with WWE management, it could literally change the way WWE, AEW, and all of it's perceived if we could just have stars flip-flop from shows. I mean, this is unheard of. It could literally change the wrestling business as a whole. So who knows? Dan Bryan really trying to do something interesting right now, and we'll see how that works out for him, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's actually the only confirmed news stories that I talked to you guys about today. But don't you dare go anywhere, guys, because things are about to get good here. Things are, in fact, about to get a little juicy, and I'll go and suggest for you guys to go and get your juice boxes out, get your juice boxes ready, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. So the first rumor is about a WWE Hall of Fame museum. So this has been talked about for a while, pretty much ever since the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was a thing. Like, they induct people into the Hall of Fame, but the question remains, where's the Hall of Fame at? There is no Hall of Fame. It's an imaginary place inside of Vince McMahon's head, pretty much. So where's the WWE Hall of Fame? It doesn't exist, but maybe it will one day. So there's been talk about building an actual museum somewhere. I mean, it could be in New York City. It could be, Stamford, Connecticut, like where the headquarters are. It could be, who knows? It could be in Florida, where the Performance Center is. I mean, there's so many options of where you could put this thing. But apparently Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, the man of the WWE pretty much, Vince McMahon has pretty much always been against this idea of doing a Hall of Fame museum. He sees it as a waste of money. And I can kind of see this from Vince's point of view. Most of the time when I hear Vince McMahon say something, I'm like, what in the hell is this guy thinking? But sometimes I can be like, okay, I can see that. Yes, it's going to cost a lot of money to build, but the question remains, of course, you can charge money for fans to go in and tour the museum, but the question remains, is the demand there for it? Is there going to be like a bunch of fans swarming the place every single day? Of course, when they open, sure there's going to be a lot. When there's a show in town, like if there's WrestleMania in town, sure there's going to be a lot. But like just a normal day in like October, are you going to get swarms of WWE fans running in there? And I don't know if the answer to that is yes. Pretty much every other sport in the world has a Hall of Fame museum somewhere. If they put it like downtown Orlando, Florida, it might be able to work, but I just don't think there's going to be like swarms and swarms of people like dying to go there, and people travel across the country to go there. People travel from another country just to go visit that. I mean, maybe they could be if they built it up correctly, but I just don't know if it's going to have the same demand as like the Professional Football Hall of Fame or even like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something. I just don't know if it's going to have like even close to a demand. I just don't want them to like put all the money to build this place and then just have it sit there and maybe just like 10 people a day go in, and it's not like, always like getting some money, and it's not really a good business investment. So I see that from Vince's point of view. For once, he gets one from me. Yeah, apparently Triple H, Stephanie, and all of them, they are on the side of building the Hall of Fame, but Vince just still doesn't see it getting that traffic to make a lot of money. Alright, the next rumor is about Liv Morgan. So take this one with the, I always say take this with a grain of salt because you never know what that means. What the hell's a grain of salt mean? Just take it with a slightest slip. I mean, don't even take this one. Just listen how crazy this is. Don't even believe it. Let's just say that. So Liv Morgan is leaving the WWE. She is going to be requesting her release from the WWE. That's what this man's saying. So this guy is named Vince Russo. So Vince Russo is crazy. He's a crazy guy. He's a crazy ex-writer for the WWE. He has I don't want to say he has no insider connections, but he doesn't have much, and he always says like crazy things like this, and nothing ever comes true. But Liv Morgan, he's basically said, she's with Bo. I don't know if they're engaged or just dating, but she's with Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas has been released. Liv Morgan now doesn't have her partner there signed anymore, and she hasn't really gone where she wants to creatively in the WWE. She's unhappy. Maybe she's better in AEW. So therefore, Liv Morgan, she's going to request her release from the WWE. So what Vince Russo is saying, I don't believe it for a second, but I just thought I would pass on this craziness and maybe open the discussion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next rumor is about SummerSlam. So SummerSlam 2021. Now this is pretty much slated out to be the next show that WWE will allow fans to. So they might allow, I don't see it happening, but they might allow fans like a few weeks before that for like Raw or SmackDown or something. So I heard coming around about August 1st is when they're going to allow fans back, but SummerSlam's not until the end of August. But who knows, they might just have SummerSlam be like, okay, this is the actual we're back party. But anyway, SummerSlam 2021 is looking to be the next show that WWE will have fans at. The question remains though, where is it going to be? Is it going to be in Florida like WrestleMania? I mean, Florida is where they're based out of right now doing the Thunderdomes and everything. So it makes sense to do it in Florida. Well, I have a rumor for you guys. The rumor is that WWE is currently looking at the Southwest for a location. They're actually looking towards Arizona or maybe Texas for a location. There's a rumor going around right now. They're looking at a place in Phoenix, Arizona that's a stadium. I don't know if it's outside or not. If it's outside, August, Phoenix, Arizona, outside, Yeah, that's quite hot. That's very, very hot. But I don't know, with Phoenix being so hot, if they really have too many, like, outside arenas or whatever. But they're looking for, like, a stadium. I mean, outside, I guess they can do a little bit more with the social distancing thing. Because if they just have, like, a 20,000 person, arena that can only have, what, like 5,000 people or something. But if they get, like, a big 50,000 person, dome or whatever, they can fit more people in and still do the social distancing thing, which is always, good. But as of right now, they're looking at Phoenix, Arizona for maybe SummerSlam, allowing fans there. If not Phoenix, Arizona, then maybe somewhere in Texas. So who knows, guys? I'd love to travel to either one of those places to go to SummerSlam. I'm just dying to go to my next show after I got back from WrestleMania. But yeah, that is the current rumor about SummerSlam. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the saddest part of the video. Go and get your tissues out and get your tissues ready because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final news story. This is the final rumor. This is the final thing I'll be talking about inside of this episode of WWE News and Rumors. This is about WWE's magical return to Saudi Arabia. So WWE still has this wonderful deal. Okay, some people can't take sarcasm. Personally, I don't really care for these shows too much. They're always so overhyped and they build them like bigger than Mania, and they just don't like, I don't know, they don't build the storylines correctly, and it seems like the matches always fall like flat on their face or something. But anyway, Crown Jewel 2021 might be happening in Saudi Arabia. Come here in a few months, November time, I guess. So there you guys have it. That is going to do it for this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Right now on screen, I believe a link to 2 previous videos for you guys to check out, as well as a button to subscribe to this channel if you're brand new here. But thank you guys for watching this video. I am Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.